Welcome to the Betting Dogs Edge Fighting Football Vegas Insiders. I'm your MMA analyst, J-Dog.
And I'm your NFL analyst, Corey Dog. Like, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we're going to talk about a recap of the fight night. And we're going to talk about early playoff look. And then we've got upcoming events. Like, subscribe, and tell us where you're following from. Happy holidays to you. J-Dog, let's jump into it.
All right, we're going to get right into the fight night recap of the Night of the Samurai. That was with Inoue versus Picasso night. So we had a couple little updates there. And, of course, we had some bets out there. So we're going to go over that real quick. And then we'll move on to the next segment. So let's move forward in here to the Inoue versus Picasso night. That Night of the Samurai was darn close. All right. I know, right? It's ridiculous. All these things always pop up all of a sudden. So with Inoue versus Picasso, it was a good fight night, right? So we're going to go over the results here real quick of each fight so we can kind of go over it real quick, let you know what happened. Then we can go into the bets. We'll move over. So this first one that we were talking about was the Garcia versus Taraji fight. Now remember, the Taraji fight was one of those I was telling you that I had a long shot bet out there, a logical long shot bet out there. Well, unfortunately, this fight didn't happen. All of a sudden, Boulibardo Garcia he got sick all of a sudden, so he had some stomach. He had stomach issues.
On.
I mean, literally right at the last minute, he did the whole.
Whole.
What do you call it? Press conference. Then he did the weigh-in, and then he got sick. So it was literally at the last minute. So no Taraji fight.
Come on,
ruined our bet. Ruined it. You know what I mean? So there goes that bet. You know what I mean? Because I need
a run back of that fight.
All right,
I need a run back of that fight.
Yeah, no fight, so no run back. So unfortunately, that was the problem. But that did affect us. We'll get into that. This fight was Erickson Garcia against Taiga Imanaga, which again, that was that one. I didn't know who was going to be winning. I didn't know who Imanaga would be fighting. Was it Garcia or was it Robbie? Well, it was Garcia. And Garcia came in and won. He beat him. He's a dog. I mean, again, these were some really good matchups when it comes to stylistic fights. It was the Mexican style against that, Japanese technical style. And he was just a dog in this one. And he just took over. Nothing you can say. Besides, he took over the fight and knocked him out. Or I would say knocked him down in the 7th round. And then just kept going. I mean, the guy was just a dog in this fight. And Imanaga should have stepped it up a little bit more, but unfortunately, he got caught with a nice hook and dropped him. After that, he got a little bit more busy, but it just wasn't enough to win the fight. So Garcia stepped it up and took it. Really good fight. Man, I'm getting a lot of bad signals here. Anyway, moving on to the next one. This one was the Reito Susumi fight against, I can't remember his, Quintana. So yeah, Quintana and Susumi. Quintana was an older guy. He's an older, and I think he was from Tijuana. So it was a good matchup fight, but he just couldn't take it. So Susumi knocked him out, I believe, halfway through the fight. Just couldn't take the onslaught and the power of this young, smaller Reito Susumi guy. So Susumi just kind of ran right through him. But it was a good fight. It was a good, like I said, good stylistic matchup between them. Okay. They gelled very well. These matchup styles gelled very well. They're very contrasting styles, very contrasting. But with these fighters, very gelled very, very well this fight night. So Susumi won on this one by knockout. And moving into the second main card, which was the Big Bang, Junto Nakatani against this guy. I can't remember his name offhand. Hernandez. And this was a dog fight. I'm telling you, Junto had his money, his word cut out for him on this one. Hernandez, I think, probably could have won on the scorecards if he would have started a little earlier. I think it took him maybe 6 rounds to kind of get his groove. After that, it was a good dog fight all the way to decisions. But Junto took it on the cards. Obviously, the first 6 rounds he won. You know what I mean? And then the last of it was all dog fights. 6 rounds, you know what I mean? Yeah, he was, he's one, again, contrasting styles. Yeah. Walking in, that's all Hernandez was doing, just literally walking straight in. And Junto was just getting suffocated. So he was literally on his bicycle the whole time. I think it was new to Junto to do that, but he won on cards. You know what I mean? Just based on his length and everything. So, good fight, good contrasting styles. Hernandez didn't start. It took him a while to get started, but once he did, man, it was a good fight. They were fighting inside a phone booth, basically. You know what they call those phone booth brawls?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That close.
That's
quarters.
What Hernandez was doing.
Yeah.
It was basically head to head, and that's all he wanted to do. And Junto just couldn't figure him out. So he finished the fight and won by decision. But man, his eye was closed, and Hernandez didn't even look like he had a lick on him. So I was like, all right, these contrasting styles were really, really good for that fight night. Really, really good.
Well, that's
good. So, and then the last fight, of course, was Inoue against Picasso. It was kind of just like we kind of said it was going to be. Picasso kind of came straight in. He tried to be a balanced fighter, but just couldn't take the onslaught of Inoue. And the aggression, the defense style, the counter punching. I mean, Inoue is just a well-balanced fighter all around, hands down, all around. You can't do nothing about it.
I saw some highlights.
Yeah,
I did see some highlights, and he was putting it out there. He was hitting him. He was giving some nice blows, and the speed was there. So I mean, Junto, I like him. He's a man. He's
well, not Junto, Inoue. Inoue and Junto.
Inoue, my bad.
So that's going to be the next fight. Remember, we were talking about that super fight that they're building up is Junto and Inoue
the big bang.
Right now,
yeah,
right?
the Big Bang versus the monster.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Each time I say this,
I don't see it. After I just saw the Big Bang fight, Junto against Hernandez, and now I found an Inoue against Picasso. I don't see Junto taking Inoue at all. I see it being a good fight.
Yeah.
I see it maybe taking a decision if he could work on the bicycle. I just don't. No way. Inoue all the way between Junto and Inoue. But again, moving with the Picasso and Junto fight, it went all the way to decision. Right now, when I started getting close to the fight here, and I saw that Taraji was out, and that affected our bet, and that affected a couple things on us. I had to change a little bit of tactics on the Audible. So I did throw out a different bet for Inoue by decision, and that one won. So we actually did win on a bet for one of these nights, so it actually worked out pretty good. So let me show you that on the cards here. Looking into this was the fight night. As I said, Taraji didn't fight, so that kind of affected my card here when I did the Taraji versus KO, sprinkling Inoue for a win plus 650. Well, Taraji didn't fight, so that it completely affected my bet on there. So I had to figure something out. And I was looking at everything, and Inoue for decision just seemed like a good insurance bet. It was my insurance bet. And we didn't make anything on it, but we made all of our bet money back for that one. Yeah. So I broke even, basically, on that one. Yeah, which is great. I'd rather break even than anything. This one was a loss because he didn't KO. So, after all my betting and all that, we came out to breaking even with this one. Plus 450, Inoue technical decision, plus 450.
Nice,
so that took so that gave us our bet money back, so we broke even. No money. But we're still down a little bit from last week, but we're still profitable overall. So we're doing good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
So that's it in a nutshell. Go ahead and share your screen. But that's all in a nutshell. So we can move on to the NFL portion of it.
Yeah. So subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Subscribe, hit the bell, comment below, do all that good stuff. We really need it. It would help us. Appreciate it. All that good stuff. There we go.
We appreciate you. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking early playoff look. Now, Week 18 is still in the mix. I haven't talked to you about that yet, but it's coming. Understand these playoff predictor. We got the NFL in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl 60, AFC versus NFC. Who you picking? Who you think is going to go? Right now we got the ESPN coming up. They're talking about the NFL breakdown. We got the starting in the NFC. We got the Seahawks coming in right now in the number one seed. Right now they've made the playoffs. They got 58% to win the division and a number one seed. That number one seed is coveted in both divisions. Reason why is they get that first round bye. And what that means for their players, guess what? Everybody gets to get in that treatment room, rest up, and then and get ready for that second round. You got 3 weeks of football, 14 teams. Starting on January 10th is when the playoffs are going to jump off. So who you're going for? Pivotal game in this week, that in week 18 that we're going to talk about Tuesday on our next show. So join us, like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell so you'll know about it. We got the Buccaneers and the Panthers. That game took place 2 weeks ago back in Carolina. The Buccaneers lost it on an interception with 23 seconds left. They're about to run that game back in week 18. That's going to be a pivotal playoff. Win or go home. Who's ready? Who's already got their vacation plans ready? I think no one right now out of those two teams, but you do have some great matchups. We're rolling down in here to week 18. We got the Broncos. They've already locked up their playoff. They won the AFC West. The Chiefs have had that lock for the last 9 years, but the Broncos have come back and got it. This number 1 seed is still up in the air. So, you got to watch out what they're doing. Broncos are doing in week 18 against the Chargers. If they lose that game, that gives the Patriots the number 1 seed in that first round bye. Next roundup, we're looking at another game that's going to be pivotal. We're looking at the number 4 Ravens versus the Steelers. You got old man Rodgers, that gunslinger, the bad man, versus King Henry and Lamar in Baltimore. That's going to be a pivotal playoff matchup. Win or go home in that aspect as well. So you're looking at You're going to be seeing those come up here, very pivotal for a reason. You got to look at the breakdown of the bracket. That first round that you get, that first round bye is pivotal, because guess what? I'm at home. I'm watching that gives you 2 weeks to prepare for your next competitor. More preparation is going to give you a better edge on winning that next game. Who do you got, Jay? What you thinking about this new playoff picture?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this number 1 seed thing by first playoff, week by.
Yeah.
But it looks like, obviously it works, you know what I mean? But I'm still trying to wrap my head around that portion of it. But yeah.
In the past, you used to have 2 rounds that you get a bye on if you won the division. So they changed the bye. So if you won out and you were number 1, you got 2 rounds. You didn't have to play the wild card. You didn't have to play to the conference.
Oh wow!
Everybody else got to fight it out.
Yeah,
you just got to sit at home. And chill out.
So now they put it to 1. Okay, well, it makes it a little more fair, I guess.
It gives it a little bit more interesting look to it. So you're looking at the wild cards. Those are the lower seedings, and you got the divisional. That's when you're dealing with your other teams that won the wild card weekend, and then you're playing in your conference final. At the end of the day, who's going to win for the AFC, sending them to the Super Bowl. So out of those 7 teams, you got to figure out where they're going to go through and beat each other up to try to figure out who's going to get those. Okay. Right now, the Seahawks are at 57% to win the division. That NFC West hasn't been locked up yet. You still got the 49ers and the Rams. If the 49ers win, that pushes this Rams team to drop in the playoff standings. So they may not get that number 1 seed after that. They don't get the division. So right now you see 54% for that to earn that number 1 seed. The Seahawks better play lights out the rest of the season. Today and tomorrow, today and next week 18. But ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, follow us for more. You got to catch us on that Tuesday episode, because I'm going into this a little bit deeper. I'm going to be up till about 2 o'clock in the morning tonight, and then again 2 o'clock tomorrow night after work, trying to crunch all these numbers for you so I can give you the best edge that I can for this week. We got the Broncos. They're 54% lock on that. I bet you somebody out there got that in a bet to see who's going to win that number 1 seed. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Might be looking for a good bet for the number 1 seed, but what is it? So the Broncos, and who's the other one that on the other NFC?
The Seahawks.
Seahawks, right? And then possibility would be the 49ers.
Yep, 49ers.
Could take it. And then what about in the NFC? Who or AFC?
The Patriots.
So the Patriots. So Pat or Broncos maybe Patriots. Yeah, it might be a good bet. Yeah. I have to look into that. Let me know. Get back to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive into that a little bit further. I'm gonna look at some more stats, look at how they play and everything. But that's our early playoff look. Now, like I said, follow us, like, subscribe, tune in for Tuesday episode. That's where we're gonna go deep dive into these and make sure we get you the edge, get you your team for the playoffs. Now, if you didn't see your team on these two lists or any of these things, that means they didn't make it to the playoffs. So, the outside looking in, the Panthers and the Steelers are on the outside looking in right now. So you got to look at it. You got to see who's who, what's what. I'm gonna give you that insight on Tuesday's episode, ladies and gentlemen. But Jay, that's all I got for you for this early look for the playoffs right now. I'm gonna dive into some Week 18 work and crunch some numbers so we can get some great edge bets out there for you.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, let's go with the last segment here. It's our upcoming event, Fight Night, into next week, which is January 3rd, I believe. Hold on, let me look into here. So, yeah. So I'm looking into I'm trying to find different fights, right? Trying to find something that we can actually bet on because there's no UFCs, there's no really MMA going on. So I looked for BKFC. Well, no, there's no BKFC until January 17th. And then I looked into UFC. There's no UFC until essentially January 24th. Gagey versus Pimblett. So going back into boxing, we have January 3rd. We have another boxing, Serrano versus Tellez. And Tellez actually, it's right after New Year's, but a couple days after New Year's. This is going to be in Puerto Rico. This would be another DAZN. Ring 5, I believe, is putting this on again. Okay. So Serrano versus Tellez. Serrano is the belt holder, and Tellez is the upcoming challenger. Tellez actually just got replaced. She replaced Erica Cruz on December 18th, so she's a late change for the top card, for the main event card. Yeah. So she's a wild card when it comes to this now. Because she just got presented for this on the 18th of December. So she had literally less than 2 weeks to get ready for this fight. Now, I went and looked at a bunch of fight tape on Tellez, and she's a dog. She holds like 3 different belts. She fights in Texas. So it'll be I think it'll be a good fight. And she's young, and Serrano is, getting kind of long on the tooth. She's 37 years old, and she's been, doing this for a while. And then, of course, you have the undercard. It's Holly Holm and Stephanie Hahn. That's the other.
This is the card with Holly Holmes on it. All
right, exactly. And I'm looking at everything happening. And Holly Holm she's doing UFC. She's doing kickboxing. She's doing wrestling. She's doing boxing. So she's all over the board with everything. Yeah. So, and she's 44 years old in this fight. And Stephanie Hahn is a dog, and she's mean, and she's pretty. So she's got everything, I think. So it's going to be a good fight.
You got to watch out for the pretty ones,
right? So this is the card that I'm actually looking into more. So again, we'll go back. We'll look into this on Tuesday. We'll have more information on Tuesday, but this is the fight night that I'm looking at. So we'll have more information on this fight night because I think Serrano versus Tellez is going to be kind of one of those wild card fights. It's going to be a good fight. More than people think. I think the Erica Cruz against Serrano would have been crappy because she already fought Erica Cruz once and she beat her. You know what I mean? Like hands down. So I don't see her changing her style anytime soon. It was only 2 years ago they fought, and now they're fighting again. And Erica Cruz has now been changed to Tellez, so she's the wild card coming in, and she's hungry. And she wants to fight, and she wants to knock you out. So this is going to be a great fight. So, yeah, this would be a great card to look into.
You got to get a dog bone for that one.
Yep, exactly. But that's all I have for this video. I just wanted to get in. I know we're all watching football. It's Sunday, football day. So we're just trying to get into Week 17. We still got some live bets. Our underdog bets have now hit. So we're doing good. We'll watch and we'll show you all that on Tuesday.
And we can break it all down for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining us. Like, subscribe, tell us where you're following from. Hit the bell so you know when you get that next notification. Find us on Spotify, Rumble, all of our socials. Hit us up. Tell us what you think, what you need from us, what value do you want from us? What do you think what do you think we're missing?
Yeah, what do you want from us, man?
You know what you want. You know, I'm serving up. I got steaks. I'm serving up today. So at the end of the day, what do you want from us? So let's look at it. Talk to us. But like, subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.